Why is fast food so cheap in the USA? Many more reasons than this apply, but the major factors are this, and not all are bad exactly, but just basics of economics. The products being served are getting cheaper to source and supply for mass production: beef, chicken, beans, cheese, bread, sauces, sugar, oil. Even fruits and veggies, although much slower to drop in price, are also getting slightly cheaper for companies to purchase and use in mass production manners. If the restaurant is paying less for the items they use most often, they either have a bigger margin to get revenue from by keeping prices the same, or they can absorb some of this and allow the customer to have cheaper food and hope it drives more volume purchases. The efficiency with which fast food restos can make their foods has also become super effective. Not only in the manpower systems involved, but way more so in the mechanical and digital means that are now a staple part of most operations. Orders taken and filled are now almost all automated. All the person does is follow readouts and do the physical work of putting food items into wrappers, bags, containers, or filling cups with drinks. Although minimum wage has increased some over recent years, it has not gone up so much relative to price of overhead, operational cost, supply cost, etc., of running a fast food joint. This keeps the salary levels that employees are paid at bay or in control relative to the amount of money the company can generate from revenue and profits. This does not mean that fast food is bad. Far from it. What you order and what you eat at fast food restos is what makes it good or bad. McDonald's, Burger King, Subway, Taco Bell, Hardee's, Church's, Chick-fil-A all have a few items you could eat often and be just fine with from a dietary nutrition perspective. They all also have many nasty crap-filled food items to pick from. I eat at Subway and Flame Broiler as well as Chipotle almost weekly or even daily when on the road for work, travel, and make it work just fine for my diet and health goals. Just because it's a fast food place serving cheaper food does not always equals bad for you choices. It's not. You can get a cheap McDonald's hamburger for $1 still. Now, add sales tax. Here's its 9% on meals, so that's $1.09. There's 1.6 ounces of cooked beef on this burger. All this beef-flavored food substitute goodness for the low price of $1.09. Now, I pop over to my local grocer. I could buy modest 80/20 ground chuck, much better than above, for about $3.00 per pound. Now, that McDonald's hamburger patty has 1.6 ounces pre-cooked patty. Which means I can make 10 patties. Or 30 cents per patty. Which means I can make a same-size patty for 30 cents. Now, I cook it. Now, I need a bun. 8 simple hamburger buns costs about $1.50. So, that's about 19 cents. Pickles, onion, ketchup, mustard. I have these things, and I'm not going to go through how to break down the costs. Let's just say each one costs 3 cents. So, 20 cents for condiments. And further, let's say it costs me 5 cents to cook a burger. Less per burger, if I'm making more than one. My homemade hamburger costs 74 cents. So, McDonald's, $1.09, my kitchen, $0. 74. The most basic McDonald's burger still costs me 47% more than I could just make at home for a comparable sized burger. Of course, I still have to make it. This isn't really that hard. And while people say it's time consuming, I don't really buy that. It's the cleanup I don't like. And collect the ingredients. But the McDonald's burger isn't cheap by comparison. And I guarantee their ingredients are of lower quality. Now, cost may vary slightly, which turn the tables on price. But, they're going to be fairly comparable, most of the time. In the same rough neighborhood. Also, I tend to split burger into quarter-pound patties. So, that's larger than the McDonald's burger. And so it would cost more. But, I was trying to keep the comparison somewhat comparable. Fast food and processed foods are unreasonably cheap in the USA because the agricultural policy of the United States uses $20 billion United States dollars of our tax dollars per year to make sure that the US will always have food available. Thanks to government spending, we have a flood of staple products like corn, cotton, soybean, wheat, even tobacco, available for very cheap if we don't count the tax dollars that we all already paid for it. Because farmers get government money to grow these staples and don't have to worry about pressures of the free market, they branched out and figured out how to use their products in more and more ways. For example, creating cornflakes, cornstarch, all kinds of corn-based sweeteners including sorbitol, dextrose, maltodextrins, fructose, and of course, high-fructose corn syrup, putting corn in cosmetics, medication, soaps, paints, adhesives, batteries, lubricants, plastics, industrial alcohols, and feeding corn products to fish and livestock so that the feed for our meat is also subsidized by our taxes. Basically, U.S. fast food is cheap because much of the underlying food product itself is already paid for by American tax dollars.